CBS has just announced that SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings is their dark horse to win the Heisman in 2026. What is his real odds, and does he really have a chance to be this year's version of Indiana's Fernando Mendoza from last season? We're going to talk about it next here on the College Huddle. Welcome into the College Huddle, ladies and gentlemen. I am Eric Boggs. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you doing so. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. We appreciate you liking this video. Follow the channel. It's been a long time since I've made a video. I've been incredibly busy this off season since the end of college football, but we're back and we are better than ever here at the College Huddle. And this is my first College Huddle video with a little bit of a new look for everybody as we get into the season. So let's jump right into it. All right, Kevin Jennings, the quarterback for SMU. Now, last time I really watched him was in the playoffs a couple years ago when SMU took a little trip up north to Penn State. That did not go so well that day for Jennings and company. And of course, last season they just barely missed an opportunity to get back to the playoffs by going to the ACC championship game, which they probably would have won since Miami wasn't there. But hey, they beat Miami last year. Okay, they were one of two teams in the regular season who took down the Canes, the other being Louisville. So SMU absolutely probably could have done it again if they had to. Just beating the same team twice in one season is incredibly difficult. However, SMU fell just a little bit short, and if Jennings is going to win the Heisman in 2026, I think SMU and Jennings are going to have to take that step that they took in 2024 that they just missed out in 2025, along with some statistical steps as well, in order to hoist that big trophy in New York City at the end of the regular season. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read a couple excerpts here from the article over on CBS Sports. The link will be in the description below. Kevin Jennings for Heisman: Why a Hometown Long Shot Could Take SMU to the Top of the Sport, written by Shahan Jrj, maybe? Jrja. Good article. I really enjoyed the aspects of the hometown flair with this article, talking about Kevin Jennings not following the NIL path that so many have done when it comes to hitting the portal, but staying true to the school and the hometown school, since he's from Dallas, that gave him the opportunity to be a Division I Power 4 quarterback. And you know what? So far, I think SMU is very happy with what Jennings has done for them. If we go scroll down to the end of the article, there's a couple things that I want to point out to you. Can he win? On the northeast corner of Gerald J. Ford Stadium stands an imposing 9-foot bronze sculpture of Doak Walker. The structure mirrors the historic trophy that carries his name, given each year to the best running back in America. Walker's Heisman Trophy was a transformational moment, not just for SMU, but for football in the city of Dallas. After the win, SMU moved to the Cotton Bowl and helped spearhead a massive stadium expansion. 12 years later, the venue helped attract the Dallas Cowboys to the Metroplex. SMU knows the power of a Heisman Trophy and how it can shape the years to come. So what would it take for Jennings to actually bring home the nation's top honor? Certainly SMU would have to beat Miami in the ACC title game. I agree with that. He'd have to outplay the Hurricanes quarterback Darian Mensah, another Heisman contender, to make it happen. If you get to the end of the season where both Miami and SMU are at the top of college football or near the top of college football and playing for an opportunity to get into the 12-team playoff, and Mensah and Jennings both are on the short list for Heisman, then a head-to-head competition absolutely would be paramount for winning the Heisman. A similar thing happened a year ago in the Big Ten championship game when the eventual Heisman Trophy winner, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, outdueled Ohio State quarterback Julian Sain, both of which were mentioned near the top of the Heisman Trophy candidate. Both ended up going to New York, and of course, Mendoza won the game and thus won the Heisman. Something similar could happen in a situation like this. But obviously, statistics also play a major role in that. And of course, when you talk about statistics, you can look at the past, and the last 4 out of 5 Heisman Trophy winners have been quarterbacks who've averaged, according to this article, 3,797 yards passing, 444 rushing yards, and 45 total touchdowns during the regular season. So how does Jennings' stats match up to this? Well, let's take a quick look at what he's done in the past. He's going to be a 3-year starter here going into this season, a 5th-year senior. And every year his stats have gone up a little bit, especially from the 2024 to 2025 season, and then obviously going into this year as well. His completion percentage went up by a point. His yards went up by almost 400. His touchdowns went up by 3 when it comes to passing the football. His rushing rushing stats came down slightly from 2024 to 2025, but he had also was dealing with an injury that kind of took away some of his mobility in the 2025 campaign. Now that's fully healed. He's back, and you got to feel year number 5 in this offense here, really year number 3 as the full-time starter. You got to think that Jennings is going to definitely take that next step that he needs to take in order to be a Heisman candidate. Now, if you are into betting and you think this might be someone who you should take a flyer on, it's good to know that his odds right now, according to this article, and I looked them up, it's 100% true. It's there. I mean, they're high, dude. Like you're like, whoa, what is going on here? 100 to 1. I mean, like that you can make some serious coin on that if you wanted to. So, if you got some loose change sitting around that you think, hey, this guy might be able to put a little bit of money in my pocket if he were to win the Heisman, there you go, man. Um, definitely a long shot here, but he's got the experience. He's one of only 2 returning starters in the or at least in the ACC, returning to their team that they started last year. I believe I read that in the article as well. Familiarity within an offense, I think, is incredibly important when you look at a player's progression from one year to the next, especially at the quarterback position. So I think it's important to you not only need to have the stats, but you need to have a schedule that plays into that role as well. When you look at the SMU schedule, well, I think this actually plays pretty well for him when it comes to winning a Heisman. Now, he's on the road to start the year off on a Monday night on September 7th at Florida State. That is a primetime game, nationally televised game, ESPN. Florida State last year, even though they didn't have a good season, they upset Alabama, if you recall. I guess that was 2 years ago. Excuse me. 2 years ago, they upset Alabama at home. Now they're going to have that opportunity. This is the ACC game. They can walk into Doak Campbell and set the stage for the entire season. Home game against UC Davis, and then they're on the road again at Louisville. Now, this one is one of 3 games I have circled on this schedule as being games that you might want to sit down and watch, especially if you are a college football fan that likes to kind of schedule your season around what might be happening at the end of the season. Louisville has a quarterback who actually has better Heisman odds, who's never started before, in former Ohio State quarterback Lincoln Kienholz, backup quarterback Lincoln Kienholz. He actually has better Heisman odds to win the Heisman at Louisville than Jennings does, even though he's a 3-year starter at SMU. Interesting football game. Tough place to play at Louisville. Second of third games on the road. ACC games. Tough way to start your schedule. But if he performs well there, let's say SMU beats Florida State, they win at home against UC Davis, on the road at Louisville. Even if he doesn't win, but just performs well enough to keep his name out there, let's say he has a really good game, then all of a sudden the rest of the schedule I think lines up perfect for him. Missouri State at home, Boston College at home, first bye week, Virginia at home, Cal at home. That's quite the home schedule there. 4 in a row with a bye week in between two of those. On the road at Syracuse in the Dome should be a win. Home against Virginia Tech. I like it because it's at home. Home against Wake Forest. Then the third one that I have circled here. The first one I have circled was Louisville. The second one was Virginia Tech, but you get that at home. The third one, and the most important one, I think, on this entire schedule for Jennings, if he's going to win the Heisman, is at Notre Dame. A lot of people are saying the only tough game Notre Dame has on their entire schedule in 2026 is against Miami. And I think SMU fans are going to say, not so fast, my friend, especially if they get to that game and they only have one loss on their schedule so far this season. This game all of a sudden becomes really important. It'll be a nationally televised game. It could be a massive game for both teams because if Notre Dame, let's say Notre Dame loses to Miami, they can't lose again. 2 losses, and we saw how that went a year ago. They can't lose again. This would be a must-win for Notre Dame. If Notre Dame's undefeated, are they ranked first, second, third in the country at this point? Huge game. SMU will be ranked coming into that game with maybe only one loss on their schedule. This could be a massive football game late in the season. So if Jennings wants to win a Heisman, here's where he could set himself up to do it. Go into Notre Dame, beat the Irish, come out with a victory, and then all of a sudden people are going to be talking about you for Heisman, and then at Stanford to end the season. 11-1 with a win at Notre Dame, setting up for a showdown for the ACC championship against either a rematch against Louisville or against Miami, and you win that one, yeah, you're going to be in New York at that point, especially if you take a step forward in your statistics as a quarterback. So I'm not so sure that that this author here of this article from CBS, Shahan Jayaraja, I don't think he's so far off. I think he's got some really good points, and when you break down the schedule coupled with the step he could possibly take statistically, I do think Kevin Jennings is a long shot, but maybe not as long as the experts think in winning the Heisman in 2026. What do you think? I'd love to hear from you Pony fans down there in Texas. I would love to know what you think about Jennings' potential of winning a Heisman in 2026. What do you think about your season? Do you think you are an 11-10 win team, possibly knocking on the door of the playoffs again? Do you have to win the ACC to get back to the playoffs? Maybe you don't. Maybe an 11-2 season with losses against Notre Dame and Miami in the ACC championship game is good enough to get you in. Maybe that's you go 11-1, you lose to Notre Dame, you lose to Miami in the ACC championship game, you still might get in with that kind of season. So what do you think? What's it going to take for SMU to get into the playoffs? Let me know in the comment section below. It's a little rusty. It's been a while since we've done a College Huddle video. We'll get better. We'll get back in the groove of it here on the College Huddle. We appreciate you tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be talking college football for the better part of at least the next 7 months here on this YouTube channel. We've got other hosts who are joining me this season. You've seen Michael. If you haven't seen Michael, watch his videos. We'll post them here for you as well, so you can get his SEC flair and taste. And so we're going to have some different people floating in making videos here. You're going to get plenty of flavor at the College Huddle, and that's what it's all about here. We're almost back, ladies and gentlemen. July is flying by. We're quickly approaching fall camp, and then the season is just right around the corner. I can't wait, and I bet neither can you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.